Hey folks, it's Laura with Rain Tree Nursery. And today I have an opportunity to share with you some of what I've learned about the mysterious medlar fruit. I was a customer of Rain Trees for many years before I actually came to work at Rain Tree. And one of the things that I love about our nursery is that there is so much diversity, so many unusual things to buy and to try. And I had read about medlar as this incredibly ancient fruit. And so I decided, once I actually started working at Rain Tree, to give a try to some of these very unusual trees. So I got a couple of medlar trees and planted them. This is the first year that I've actually had any yield at all, and I'm super excited about it. And I want to share with you what I've learned. So while medlars have been around for thousands of years in the Middle East and in the walled monastery gardens of Europe, there hasn't been a lot of concentrated breeding on this fruit until like the last 50 years. And a lot of the modern varieties are bred from Monstros d'Efrinoff, which is this variety right here. It has a nice size to it and it has a good flavor. So it is kind of the base variety that a lot of modern varieties are derived from. I also grow Puccia Supermole, which is an Italian variety, and it's a little bit smaller, so as you can see, which is fine because the tree is absolutely loaded with fruit. So while it may be a little smaller in size, it certainly makes up for it in yield. And then the other one that I grow is Macrocarpa. Look at this monster. It's huge. And it really wins the prize for super big size. I haven't actually gotten a chance to try this one flavor-wise, so I'm excited to do that with you. So now we get to talk about ripening, which is one of the most unusual aspects of medlar fruit. Medlar has to undergo a process called bletting, which is a controlled fermentation of the fruit. And it ferments all on its own, in its own skin. And when it's perfectly ripe, it's got this soft quality, kind of like a marshmallow. That's how you know you've got a good one. This one, which looks very similar, has no give at all. So I know this one's not ripe yet. This one, which I put in the house to try to ripen at room temperature, got very dry, and you can tell by the wrinkling of the skin. I ate one of these, well, I ate a bite anyway. It was terrible, mealy, and awful. So don't do that to your medlars. Don't ripen them. Allow them to blet in an area that is dry. You want some ambient moisture, like your back porch if you live in a relatively moist climate, or the crisper of your fridge if where you live tends to be kind of dry. So that is how you can get a perfectly ripe and luscious medlar, and it doesn't happen until very, very late in the season. It will be, unless you have storage apples and storage pears, it will be the last fruit that will ripen for you. And now for the part everybody asks about. What does it taste like? I would describe medlar as like a cross between spiced applesauce and fig, or maybe a spicy fig cheesecake. It's very dense. It's very thick. I usually open them from the pointed end and just kind of take off that section right there and peel back the fruit just a little bit like this. And you can see it's very moist and soft. And if they're small, like the Puccia Supermole, I just put the whole thing in my mouth and chew on it. Now, there are seeds inside, big triangular seeds. So you don't want to just expect you're going to eat the whole thing. But I pull back the peel. Oh my gosh. This texture is just delightful. It's almost like a pudding. It's fantastic. So if you're going to use this as an ingredient in jams or cheesecake or, any other kind of preserve, you just continue pulling back the peel like I did and dump everything in the bowl and then push out the seeds, or you can use a food mill, or you can just eat them themselves. So that's the macrocarpa. Here we have the delightful Puccia supremole, which is smaller. Wow, look at that. It's just popping right out of its skin. Mmm, mmm. Not quite as dense, a little smoother. Ooh, much more of an apple character to this one. Yeah, I can really see the apple parentage. They're sort of related to apples distantly. That one's good. Even though it's smaller, some people would say, "Oh, it's small. I don't want to bother with that." Oh, the flavor, it's worth it. And then we have the macrocarpa here. Oh, this looks really rich and gorgeous. Look at that. Mm, this one almost tastes like pumpkin. Oh, wow. Yeah, definitely a little less sweet, a little less smooth, but very rich. Oh, great. Oh, this would make an awesome cheesecake. Now I know what I'm going to do with with mine when we're done filming. So, there you have it. The fabulous Medlar, the mysteries explained. Thanks for joining us. It's Laura with Rain Tree Nursery. At the end of the year, enjoying my Medlars. I'll see you next time. Wow, yeah.